Hello everyone, good morning. Am I audible? Perfect. Okay, so let's start with the session, guys. So what have we started with yesterday's session? What did we do in yesterday's session? We just kick-started with the OOPS concept, right? So it is going to be very, very important here. Okay, so here yesterday we spoke about something called as what? We spoke about something called as object here, right? What is an object? Object is a real world entity, meaning it should be a part of real world, okay, and it should be physically existing. So that is when we can consider it as an object, okay. And every object will have certain properties, okay, and those properties are categorized into states and behavior, right? What are states and behavior? What are states? States are the properties used to store some data, whereas behavior are the properties, okay, used to perform some task. States are used to store, behaviors are used to perform some task. But we considered this with respect to programming aspect as well. Object name is considered as class name, states are referred as variables, and behaviors are referred as methods here. Clear? Now we also understood what was class, correct? We understood what is a class as well. Okay, now later, what is a class? It's a blueprint of an object. It is going to represent how the object is going to look like. Okay, now so it's a blueprint, or in other words, it's a platform to store the states and behaviors, variables and methods of a particular object here. Clear? And then we also saw that if I have to create a class, we have to make use of class keyword and followed by class name and blah 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 blah, everything we have seen, correct? And we also saw something called as object creation, one of the most important topic. Okay, what is it? Object creation. Like if I have non-static properties into my class, if I want to load it within the memory, I have to create an object. Okay, why do we create an object? To store all the non-static properties within the memory. And objects get created inside a memory location. What is it? Heap area. And which operator is responsible? New operator. Okay, now, and we saw the syntax and various working of it, right? So this is all about what we have done, and we are done with the basic foundation as well. Okay, the basic concepts such as variables, data types, loopings, conditionals, operators, everything has been done for you all. So it's time for you all to start practicing it here. Okay, so don't try to neglect it and don't try to leave it at the end moment here. Okay, so start practicing now here so that going ahead all these topics will be very very easy here, right? Very good, we are done with it, sir. Okay, sir, what are we supposed to discuss in today's session? Okay, so let us try to discuss a lot of important topics here. Okay, now let me give you a clarity here. Okay, let me give you clarity about one particular topic here. I will have a class, and the class name, you take it as pen. Okay, the class name is pen. Open curly braces and close curly braces is the scope of the class. And we know what is a class, right? What is a class? It's a blueprint of an object, or it's a platform to store the states and behaviors of a particular object. And what is the class name I have considered? The class name is pen. So I am going to store all the pen related properties into my class here. Okay, done. Later, later, I will have one variable. Okay, now int cost equals to 10, correct? Int cost equals to 10. Okay, sir, agreed, sir. I have a variable called as cost which is initialized to 10. Okay, is it static or non-static? Sir, I am not blind, sir. Okay, easily looking at this variable I can tell it's a non-static variable. How? Sir, there is no static keyword, no sir. It is 101% non-static. Very good. Okay, now here, since it is non-static, okay, and my execution will always begin from my main method, correct? So let me have public static void main, open curly braces and close curly braces. Now here, let me create an object here. Okay, how do we create an object? Pen p equals to new pen off. We are supposed to create an object like this here. Got it? So we understood the basic functionalities over here. Okay, now we're done with this process. Now, sir, internally what will happen, sir? Okay, when you tell new, okay, when you tell new, internally an object will get created. Okay, and with the address 111. And who is pointing to that object? P is pointing to that particular object. Now, why did I create that object? To store the non-static property. Which is that non-static property in my class? Cost, right? So this cost will get initialized to the value called as 10 here, to the value called as 10. Got it? So now if I have to print it, how will I print it? Simple, sir. System.out.println, and I have to access this data with the help of p.cost here. With the help of object name, I have to access the variable. So the output will be p.cost and the output will be 10. Correct? This is what we did yesterday. Okay. So we stored a non-static variable, we created an object and we accessed it. Beautiful. Sir, why did you repeat the topic, sir? Okay, I will tell you. Okay. Now here, similarly, I will create same class. Class pen. Open curly braces, close curly braces. Right? Now, again, I will have one variable. Int cost. And here I have just declared. Okay. What is the difference over here? Sir, here declaration and initialization, sir. But here only declaration. You have not yet initialized to any value. Okay, now my execution will always start from where? Main method, sir. Okay, public static void main. This is wherein my execution will always start from. So I have my main method. So now what am I supposed to do here? I have to create an object. Why? Sir, non-static, sir. Okay, blindly you will create an object. Pen P equals to new pen of. I create a beautiful object. Now internally what will happen? When I tell new, an object will get created. Okay, with the address say 111. And who is pointing to that object? P is pointing to that respective object. Okay, now here the job of object is to store the non-static property. So the cost is non-static. I will store the cost here. But since it is not initialized to any value, what value will I store here? It is not initialized to any value. What value will I store here? Any idea here? Any idea? Think about it and tell me. You got the clarity, right? Sir, when you create an object in the first example, when you create an object, the cost will get initialized to 10. Why? Because we have already assigned it. We have already initialized. But in the second example, when we create an object, the non-static variable should get loaded. But since it is not initialized to any value, what value will it get initialized to? Okay, that is what I'm trying to tell. Is it some garbage value here? Is it some garbage value? No. Java is smart. Okay, Java is smart. So in other languages here, whatever you told is absolutely valid here. Okay, some garbage value will get loaded. But since Java is very, very smart here, what he does, he will initialize to 0. That is nothing but the default value. Okay, so what is default value? We will understand. And therefore, when I tell SOP, open parenthesis and close, and when I tell P dot cost here, he will get initialized to 0. I mean, he will print the value 0. Sir, how, sir? I will tell you. Okay, so we are supposed to talk about a concept called as default values. Got the clarity here? Okay, so what are default values here? Let me tell you here. Okay, click. So default values are nothing but if a variable is declared and not initialized to any value. If I have just declared the variable but I have not initialized to any value, then there is a person. Who is that person? Compiler. The compiler will automatically initialize to its default value. Okay, in other languages here, garbage value, yes, but Java is very smart, it is advanced, correct? So he will initialize to some default value, correct? And default values are applicable for both static and non-static. Okay, so whenever I talk about default values, it is applicable for both static and non-static variables. But we haven't thought what is static yet. But it will get allocated. Default values is applicable for static variables also, non-static variables also. And we'll be talking about static a bit later. Okay, now, sir, okay, sir, what is the default value for, okay, what is the default value for non-decimal numeric value? For example, byte, short, int, long. All these four data types are used to store non-decimal numeric value, and the default value is 0. Okay, now, so for the non-decimal numeric value, what is the default value? 0. Very good. Similarly, for float and double, since they are storing decimal numeric values, the default value is 0.0. 0.0 is used to store for decimal numeric values. Okay, na? And char I'll talk about it. Boolean, it's either true or false, but the default value is false here. For Boolean, the default value is false. Okay, you might go wrong here. You might tell it as true. No, it's false. And for string, okay, it is null. And for string, what is it? Null. Sir, what is for char, sir? The default value for char is some Unicode value. Okay, so it is some Unicode value. And Java cannot understand Unicode value. Okay, he does not interpret Unicode value. So he just gives an empty space. What he gives here? He just gives an empty space. Got the clarity? So this is what we are supposed to understand when it comes to default values concept. Got it? Perfect. In other languages, junk value or garbage value. But in Java, the concept of default values will play a role. Clear? Now, so let us try to understand the program. Okay. Yeah, perfect. Okay. So what am I supposed to do here? I will show it to you in a beautiful way. Okay. Now, I will start working around with Eclipse now. Okay. We first kickstarted with Notepad, then Notepad++, and from today we would be jumping into Eclipse here. And this is important for everyone. Clearly listen to me. I want everyone to execute at least a couple of programs on Notepad and Notepad++, and that is when you have to jump into Eclipse. Directly don't jump into Eclipse. I don't want anyone to do that mistake. Okay, I repeat, I want you to experience the feel. How do we execute Java programs on Notepad, Notepad++, and then jump into Eclipse here. Don't directly jump into Eclipse. Okay, now, please, okay, so make sure you try to work around with it and then later talk about Eclipse here. Okay, now, first, what will I do here? Either on C drive, E drive, D drive, wherever you want, you just create a folder. Okay, you just create a folder. I will create a folder on the desktop only. See, right click, I'll click on new and I'll click on folder. Right click, new folder. And it is asking me, give me some folder name. I will give it as JECM63 workspace. Okay, what is a batch code? JECM63 and WS stands for workspace. Workspace meaning where you're storing all your Java programs. Okay, this is the folder, this is the destination repository wherein I'm storing all my Java programs. Correct? So if you could closely observe here, this is my Eclipse icon. I have downloaded Eclipse, I have extracted it, and I have pinned to taskbar. And once I click on Eclipse here, okay, the version of Eclipse I am using is Neon. We have a lot of versions. Eclipse Mars, M for Mars, N for Neon, O for Oxygen, P for Photon. Okay, so they keep on going. Now it's asking me, okay, select a directory as workspace. What does it mean? Select a directory as workspace meaning Eclipse is asking, hey, where do you want to store all your Java programs? I created a folder on the desktop. No, I have to browse it. I have to browse it. Okay, browse. I click on browse and it is asking, okay, on the desktop, I just scroll, and I come across a folder which I created. What is it? JECM63 workspace, and I tell OK. So I have told my Eclipse, whatever programs I develop with the help of Eclipse, please store it over here. Okay, I have done with it. And okay, this should be unchecked, guys. Okay, don't check this box here. It should be unchecked. Okay, na? Don't check this box. And just tell okay. It's normal English, no? It's not that it's something great here. You don't understand the language. No, it's not like that. Read and follow the instructions. That's it. And click on OK. Okay, once you open Eclipse for the very first time here, it will take time. Okay, once you open Eclipse for the very first time, it will take time here. So have patience level, okay? Because based on the RAM speed, if it is 4 GB or 8 GB, it depends, okay? So make sure have patience until, oh, it's so slow. No, for the very first time, yes, it will definitely take time, but the boot time will become lesser as the session, as and when you start using it. So this is my Eclipse here. So now here, I will maximize the screen. How will I maximize the screen? Just click on this button, it will maximize. Okay, now this is the first welcome page you will get. So it's asking me, hey, do you want to go through the tutorials? Do you want to have the overview? Just tell no. Okay, if you're interested, okay, go ahead. If not, just click on close page, close on the welcome page. Clear? This is how your Eclipse will look like. Okay, this is how your Eclipse will look like. Okay, now there is something called as outline over here. Okay, close it. Not useful as of now. Okay, there is something called as task list. Not useful as of now. Close it. All the unnecessary things I will just close it. Okay, now to work around with Eclipse, it's a three-step process. Okay, to work around with Eclipse here, what is the three-step process here? Let me tell you out here. Okay, so the first thing what we are supposed to do here is create a beautiful Java project. Okay, after creating a project, we need to create a package, beautiful package we need to create. Okay, after that we need to create a class. Okay, what is the hierarchy we need to follow here? Uday, create a project first, package, and then class. Project, package, class. This is the structure we are going to follow. Okay, now this is the structure which we have in Java here. Okay, so first what am I supposed to do? I need to create a project, right? How will I create a project here? Okay, so just go here below file, there is an icon called as new. Okay, click on it. Once you click on the new icon here, it's telling, okay, what do you want now? Uday, what do you want now? I want a Java project. Okay, click on Java project and tell next. Okay, now I tell next. After telling next here, okay, it's asking me, hey, give me the project name. No, I will tell I'm working around with default values. No, so I'll write the project name as default values. Okay, now give some project name and tell finish. Okay, now once you tell finish, you'll come across a small pop-up. Yes, okay, we got that small pop-up here. Okay, so what are we supposed to do with this pop-up here? Okay, I will tell you here. So you have to just tell remember my decision and tell no here. What are we supposed to do here? Just tell remember my decision and tell no here. Okay, now clear everyone here and tell remember my decision and tell no. Done? Perfect. You created a project first, okay? And then there is something called as SRC. SRC is the root folder. Okay, SRC is what? It's the root folder, okay, which is already there. That is nothing but source. Now, what is the next step? Package. Right click on SRC, new, and we are supposed to create a package. Okay, right click on SRC, new, and package. Okay, and now I need to give the package name. Okay, you can give any package name, your name, my name, whatever name you want, but I'll just give it as com. Okay, COM. Why do I give it as com? I'll tell you later. Okay, and I tell finish. Project got created, package got created. And what is the next step we need to create? Sir, class, sir, obviously. So I'll tell right click on com, okay, new, and what are we supposed to do? We are supposed to create a class. Right click on new and create new, class here. Okay, so class name, it's asking me, please give me the class name. You can give any class name. I'll just give the class name as default, okay, default values demo. Okay, what will I give the class name as? Default value demo. And I just click on finish button. And I just click on what? Finish button. A beautiful class will appear over here automatically. Can you see here? You have got, sir, font size very small, sir, I can't see. Okay, control plus. Control plus is the shortcut key to increase the font size, and control minus is the shortcut key to decrease the font size. Got it? Control plus, control minus, right? Sir, what is this package com, sir? What is it telling, sir? It's telling package means folder. Okay, now. So there is a folder by the name called as com. Okay, there is a folder by the name called as com, and values demo. Default values demo is a class plus a Java file, right? .java. So that is present in the com folder. and there is something called as public. We'll ignore public as of now because I'm not thought what is access specifies yet. So the curly braces can be on the same line or the next line. It doesn't matter. Got the clarity? Now here we are done. Okay, we are done here. So now I should have what variables, correct? I need to have variables. So I'll tell int a, okay, then we'll have double b, then char c, then boolean d, and then string e. Okay, all non-decimal numeric value, decimal numeric value, boolean, char, and string. But if you could closely observe, okay, these four have changed their color, correct? Boolean, char, double, int here. Why? Because they're all keywords. But string is a class, okay, it's a predefined class. So if you could see string class, it's telling. But we will talk about everything later, guys. Not everything in a single day. Slowly only we'll understand. Okay, now I have declared 5 variables here, and all the 5 variables are non-static variables, and the execution will always start from main method. In Notepad and Notepad++, what I had to do, I had to explicitly tell public, static, void, main, blah 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 blah. I had to explicitly manually write it down. But in Java, it's easy. You have to just write main control space bar. Just write main and tell control space bar. Can you see? It is recommending main method. Just double click on it. Once you double click on it, automatically the main method will appear. Can you see? Right? No, it's very easy. I want to maximize the screen. Okay. Control M will maximize the screen. Control M will minimize the screen. Control M maximize. Control M minimize. Okay, now first rule. Okay, sir. All these 5 variables are non-static variables. Therefore, I need to create an object. See, default. Okay, control space bar. Automatically, the prediction is appearing. I'll click on it. DVD. Okay, default values demo DVD equals to new default. See, control space bar prediction. Okay, enter. Automatically everything. This is someone pop-up you'll get. You'll just tell enter. Okay, done. You created an object successfully, and you need to print those values. How will I print those values? You need to have print statement. Notepad++, what I had to do? System.out.println, everything I had to do manually, right? But here I will tell sysout control space bar. As soon as I tell sysout control space bar, can you see? Automatically it will appear. So I tell dvd.a. So I'm printing the variable a present within the object. Again, sysout control space bar. Control spacebar is one of the famous, shortcut keys that we have in Java here. Okay, now similarly, I will just copy paste it. Okay, I'll just copy paste this entire data here. A, B, C, and then D, and then E. So I'm printing the data. So now I'm done with the I'm done with the developing part. And always tell Control S, Control S. See, if you have not saved your file, you'll get a small asterisk here, okay, star here. It means the program is not yet saved. When you tell Control S, oh, it's saved now. Got it? So and just click on the run button. If it was in Notepad, I have to open command prompt and execute all this, no? So here it has an inbuilt terminal here, okay? So automatically when I execute here, the output will appear in the Eclipse itself. Can you see here? I don't have to compile it explicitly. I don't have to interpret it explicitly. Everything will be done easily here. So in simple terms, Eclipse is job reduction, complexity reduction. That is why in the market we make use of Eclipse only a lot, okay, everywhere. So what is the default value for int a? 0. Default value for double 0.0. I told you char, no, it's a Unicode value that cannot be read by Java, okay, JVM. So he gives an empty space. Can you see an empty space? Yes. But since it moves to the next line, okay, it gives as false here. It goes to the next line. False for Boolean and null for string here. This is all about the entire process for what? Default values. Everyone understood what are default values here? What are default values? If a variable is declared and but not initialized to any value, the compiler will automatically initialize to its default value. Correct? And then static and non-static both, can be assigned to default values. And we have respective default values which I have showed it to you. Okay, now we are done with default values concept. Okay, now. Okay, sir. What is the next time, sir? What is the next line, sir? What is the next topic which we are going to do? So now, in real time, okay, there is always a question you will come across. Okay, what is the question they'll ask here? Okay, write. Okay, they'll write it down over here. Let me type it over here itself. Okay, so that you will have. Okay, big companies, they'll have this common question here. Okay, what is the question? Write a Java program. Okay, to store to store two student details. What is it? Two student details. Okay. Okay. Two student details, which has ID and or else name and marks. Okay, that's it. So now here you understand what is the question here. They have told write a Java program to store two student details which has name and marks here. So meaning you have to store two student details wherein each student will have name and marks are the two properties here. How will we do it here? As soon as they tell two student details, will we have two classes here? Absolutely no. Okay. If they tell 10 student details, if I will I create 10 classes here? No, guys, that's not the way to do it. How will I do it, sir? Okay, I will do it in a beautiful manner. See, I will do it here. Before that, okay, before that here, okay, see here, I will create a class. Okay, class, and the class name is car. I will talk about student class in some time. Okay, don't worry. Open curly braces and close curly braces. In car class, I will have a variable. Okay, that is nothing but int cost. Okay, what is the variable? Cost. I've just, okay, we will initialize to 10. Okay, I hope you all got the clarity. We have a car class and we have a variable called as cost initialized to 10. Is it static or non-static? Sir, non-static, sir. Very good. Okay, so therefore, what I do here is, okay, I'll have my main method. Okay, main method is wherein the execution will begin from. I'll have my main method wherein the execution will begin from. And can I create multiple objects for a class? Sir, you create any number of objects, sir. It doesn't matter. Okay, I will create a couple of objects. See, car C1 equals to new car of. Now what happened internally? What happened internally? Simple. Sir, you tell new. New meaning an object will get created. Okay, now object will get created. And what will be the object name? I mean object address 111. And who is pointing to that object? C1. Okay, now since I have created the object, I need to store the non-static variable, that is cost. So the cost will get initialized to the value 10 here. The cost will get initialized to the value 10. Can I create n number of objects? You can create, no restrictions at all. So I'll create one more object. Car C2. When you have multiple objects, the names of the object should be different and unique. Okay, you will tell new car of, right? So now here, what happened here? You created one more object. Yes, new meaning. What will happen here when I tell new? One object will get created internally. Okay, and what is the address of the object? 222. And who is pointing to that object? C2. So when I create multiple objects, I am creating multiple instances or multiple copies. Okay. And the same cost will get stored over here. Okay. Which is pointing to the value cost has, that is nothing but 10 here. Got it. When I create multiple objects, I am creating multiple instances or multiple copies. Right. So now when I try to print system.out.println, if I try to print, okay, C1 dot cost, what will be the output? Plus I give a space and C2 dot cost, what will be the output? Very simple here. What is C1 dot cost? C1 dot cost is 10. What is C2 dot cost? C2 dot cost is also 10 here. 10 and 10 will get printed. But now I want to reinitialize. The cost of car 1 is 20 now. So what will I do? C1 dot cost equals to 20. So what did you understand? the value 20 is getting assigned into a variable cost of which object? C1. In C1, the cost will get initialized to 20 because I have changed the value. In which object? C1 object. Okay, now after that, when I try to print system.out.println, if I try to print the value C1.cost, what will be the output? And C2.cost, what will be the output? So we have to understand. Sir, simple. C1.cost. C1.cost, when I try to print, I will get the output 20. Why? Sir, you have reinitialized. So therefore, we'll get the output as 20. But C2.cost will remain same. What is it? 10 because I have not manipulated it yet. So it will remain same only. So therefore, when I create multiple objects, I am creating multiple instances. Got the clarity here? This is what we are supposed to understand here. Got the clarity here? Okay, now when I go back to my program, okay, I'll execute this program here. Okay, now once let me execute it so that you'll have better clarity about this entire topic here. So I will tell Control N. When I tell Control N, that's the shortcut key, or else no, don't require shortcut. See, you'll have one restore button over here. Okay, click on restore button. Okay, you created one class. You need to create one more class. How will you create? Click on com, right click, new, and create one more class. One project, one package, but multiple classes. Okay, now, and the class name is car, and you will tell finish. Okay, now, so a beautiful class will get created. Okay, now, but you don't like this public, no? Remove this public. Okay, as of now, I haven't thought public, remove it. Now here, this car will have one non-static variable called as cost. Int cost equals to 10 here. You can have the curly braces in the same line or next line, doesn't matter. In car class, I have a variable called as cost. Okay, that is initialized to 10. Now here, execution starts from main method. How am I supposed to have my main method? Sir, simple sir. Main control space bar. When I tell main control space bar, the main method will appear here and I'll tell enter. What happens? Automatically public static void main will get printed. Don't you think so? The UI is comparatively better and easier in Eclipse here. Even if you don't feel it now, but later as the days goes on, once you have the hang of it, you will feel the advantage here. Okay. Now here, sir, can I create multiple objects? Yes, you can create multiple instances. So I'll tell car C1 equals to new car, or you created one object. Can I create one more object? Huh, but you cannot have same names. Okay, whenever you have multiple objects, always the names has to be different. If you write it as C1, compiler will nicely slap you, dub 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 dub, he'll slap you and he'll tell, hey, look here, how can you have two objects with the same name? Okay, that's not possible. Okay, so you should have two different objects. Therefore, now when you want to print, okay, C1 dot cost, the cost present in car 1, give a space plus the cost present in car 2. Okay, now, so I am trying to print the content. Now when I execute the program, okay, see, it will be 10 and 10 only. Why? Because, I have not yet initialized anything. Automatically, whatever values I have initialized, that values will get printed, right? Now I will initialize. C1 dot cost equals to 15. Okay, and C2 dot cost equals to 23. So I hope you got what am I trying to do here. Sir, you are doing nothing. You're just reinitializing, sir. Ashte appa ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು. Okay, now I'm just reinitializing it over here. So now when I tell C1 dot cost and I give a space, dummy space, okay, space, and I print C2 dot cost. But now when I execute it, look at the output I get now. Now I get is 15 and 23. How? Sir, you have reinitialized it now, sir. So in C1 dot cost, it's reinitialized to 15. In C2 dot cost, you have reinitialized to 23. So I'll get the expected output. Got it? This is what is the advantage of creating multiple objects and trying to reinitialize. Okay, now, great. Now, we understood this program, right? Okay, I hope you all understood, correct? We'll go back to the question which was asked in many interviews. What was it? Write a Java program to store two student details which has the attributes called as name and marks, meaning you have to store two student details wherein it has name also, marks also. How will we store it? Simple. Okay, I will go back here and I will create it in a beautiful manner. Okay, now, so let us develop. Okay, so what are we supposed to do? Okay, firstly, I will have a class, beautiful class I will have. Okay, the class name is student. Okay, what is the class name? The class name is student. Open curly braces, close curly braces. Got the clarity? Sir, can you explain me, sir, what have you done? Class meaning it's a platform or a blueprint to store the states and behaviors of an object. And what is the class name I have considered? Student. So all the student related properties, where am I supposed to store? Within the class here. Very good. And every student will have two properties. What is it? Name and marks. Correct. So I will tell string is the data type and then name is the variable. String is the data type and name is the variable. So what did you understand here? I've just declared it. Why? Because I don't know the values yet, because I want to store multiple details. No, I don't want to do it. So string name will get declared here. And one more property is int marks here. Okay. I don't know the data yet. Okay. I'll just create two variables which will get initialized to their default values. Later I will initialize them. Okay. Now, after that, okay, where will your execution always start from? Execution will always start from the main method, sir. Very good. Let me have my main method also. Public static void main string array of arguments and then open curly braces and close curly braces. Clear? Okay, done. Now, sir, I want to store two details. Okay, two student details. What will I do here? I will create first one object, sir. Okay, student S1 equals to new student. Clear? I created one student object. Now, internally, what will happen? New meaning one object will get created beautifully. Correct? And what is the address of the object? 111. And who is pointing to that object? S1. Guys, this 111 is not always 111, okay? It's some random address, okay? I'm just giving it as 111 for our general understanding, okay? Once I have created the object, okay, what am I supposed to do here? The non-static property should get loaded within the memory, correct? So there are two non-static properties, name and marks. Name will get initialized to the default value called as null. Why the default value called as null? Because the variable is declared and not yet initialized to any value. So it is null. And the marks will get initialized to the default value called as 0. Why? Sir, string. The variable is declared and not initialized. The default value for string is null. And the variable is declared and not initialized. The default value is int. Okay, that is 0. Okay, now the objects got created. Can I create one more object? You create any number of objects. I will create one more object. Student S2, okay, equal to new student of. I created one more student object. One class, multiple objects. One class, multiple instance or multiple details here. Okay. Now what will I do here? Again, sir, when you tell new, one object will get created, sir. Okay, very good. One object will get created. And what is the address of that object? 222. Okay, now. And who is pointing to that object? S2, sir. S2 is pointing to that object. Okay, now. And all the non-static properties should get loaded within the memory. Correct. Again, name, marks. Name will get initialized here to null. Why? The default value. And marks will get initialized to 0. The default values. In both the objects, the default values will get initialized. Why? Because I have declared, I have not initialized it yet. Now later what I'll do, later I will tell s1 dot name equals to, I will write it as Tom. So what did you understand? S1 dot name equals to Tom, meaning Tom is getting stored into a variable name of the current object. Which is the current object? S1. In S1, the name will get initialized to Tom. And here S1 dot marks equals to 36. What did you understand? 36 is getting stored into a variable called as marks. So even this will get initialized into 36. Similarly, I will do it for S2 dot name equals to, I will write it as Jerry. Name is a default, string, no. So Jerry will get stored into S2 dot name. So here it will get initialized to Jerry. And S2 dot marks, no. Marks will get initialized to what? I will store it as 49. So 49 will get stored into marks. So the marks here will be 49. So S1 meaning I am pointing to student1 object. S2 meaning I am pointing to student2 object. But copies, name and marks will be there in both the student objects here, right? After that, I will just print it. Okay. System.out.println. I am just printing the student1 name. Okay. Plus, I am printing the student1 marks. Okay. I am just printing both their respective data. And similarly, SOP student2 name I am printing. If you want, you can give a space, and student2 marks I am printing. That's it. I have stored two student objects and have displayed their content here. This is the output. Okay, this is what we expected here with the question what they asked here. This is the expected question here. Got it? And this is how we are supposed to give the solution for it. Okay. I hope we got the clarity about how do we store the data in this respective with this respective content. Clear everyone? Perfect. Great. Now here I will go back to my Eclipse here. I'm gonna develop my Java program. How will I develop my Java program, sir? Simple. Click on com. First click on com, then right click on com, new, and we are supposed to create a class. And what is the class name? The class name is student. What is the class name? The class name is student. Okay, and I'll tell finish. Okay, we have successfully created the student class, and I'll remove public as of now. Even if you have, it's not a problem. Okay, now I'll just remove public. Control M will maximize the screen. Control M twice. So now student. Okay, how many properties does it have? It has a string name. Okay, and int marks. Okay, it has only two properties, name and marks. Okay, now, but I have not yet initialized. Okay, it will get allocated to a default values. Now I have my execution starting from the main method. Main method is wherein the execution will always start from, right? Now here I will create one student object. Student control space bar s1 equals to new student. Okay, I create one object. Okay, and I create the second object. Okay, here it's nothing but s2. I created two objects. Now here it's simple. See, s1 dot name. Okay, if you print the student one name, give a space s1 dot marks here, you will get the expected content here. Okay, you will get the default values over here. Why? Sir, I have not yet initialized, no sir. So the default values will get printed here. Okay, now this is what the output will be like here. Okay, see, if you want to just cross check here, you can definitely get the output here. See, now when I execute here, it should be null 0 here. Okay, so will I check? Will I get the output? See, null 0. I will get this respective output here. Okay, now got it here. Perfect. Because the default values, once I create an object, always the default values will get allocated, right? It will get stored. Now I want to store the name and age marks of those two students. S1 dot name, sorry, I'll take it as name equals to, I will write it as Tom. Okay, and S1 dot marks equals to, he will score 36 marks. Okay, and S2 dot name is Jerry. Okay, and S2 dot marks, he has scored about 40 marks. Okay, that's it. After initializing, print the content. Okay, print that respective content here. So now what will happen? Beautifully, you can definitely get your output. See, now once when I execute it, look at the output what I get here. See, null 0 initially. Later, after reinitializing, when I try to print it over here, I will get it as Tom36. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I have to print s2 dot marks here. Okay. S2 dot marks, not S1 dot marks. When I execute it, both the student object details will be printed successfully. Can you see here? I got the expected output. Tom, Jerry, and 3640. If you want to do it in a beautiful manner still, you can do it in a sentence format. How, sir? I will tell you. See, sys out, okay, control space bar. See, I'll tell s1 dot name. Tom has scored, okay, s1 dot marks, just a moment, marks in Java. Okay, so this is about the entire process here. So here I'll give S1 and here I'll give S2 here. Okay, here I'll give S1 and here I'll give S2 here. This is all about the entire process, guys. Okay, no complication, nothing. When I try to execute it, just look at the output, what you will get it as. See, you know, Tom has scored 36 marks in Java. Jerry has scored 40 marks in Java. Are we getting the output in a beautiful manner here? Yes, this is all about it. Okay. No complications, nothing here. We're just trying to understand what are default values and trying to reinitialize them and try to get the expected content here. This is all about the entire process here. Okay, now. So this is all about it, guys. Okay, so if you like it, you can do all this configuration over here. If you want this way, you'll get the beautiful way. See, student class, two variables, and you created two objects trying to print their content, and then slowly you have initialized them and printed their output here. This is all about the expected content. If you want to check, if you want to change the font, everything, whatever here, there is something called as quick access over here. Okay, you just click on font. Okay, you just click on font here. Okay, wait, you have to just click on font. Once you tell font here, enter, it's asking here, okay, do you want to change the font? For what? Java. Okay, the editor. Here, I'll just make it as bold. Okay, I'll just make it as bold and you can change all those configurations. And tell okay, apply, okay. So now can you see here, it will appear in a bold way now. Okay, it looks a bit bold now. Okay, this is what I did now. Okay, now, nothing great over here, nothing great over here. Just simple things which I did it over here. So now once when I execute it here, I will definitely get the expected output. If you want to make even this as bold here, okay, you can make it. How? I'll tell you. See here, just go for quick access and search for font again. Okay, and search for font again. Enter. Once you search for font again, just you have to scroll. There is an option called as debug. Correct? Click on it. Here you'll have a console font. Okay, and as soon as I tell bold, okay, and tell okay, it will change. Apply and tell okay, no, it will get changed to bold. Even this one. See, it got brightened here. Okay, it became bold here. That's it. Okay. It's all about settings, guys. It's all about, it's an IDE. Everything is there. You have to just understand the flow here. Clear? So now what have we discussed, guys? As of now here, we understood what are default values and we understood what are the multiple details we need to store. Correct? So anyone having any questions as of now here? Any questions, guys? Anyone? Please respond quickly. Any questions, anyone? Okay, go ahead. Okay, any questions, please let me know. Okay. Okay. So there is the first question. The first question is, why did we give the package name as com, sir? We could have given it as any name. See, I just click on restore. Okay. And here I give it as com. Why is it? Okay. I'll tell you. We have, when I do packages concept, I'll tell you in detail. But as of now here, okay. So the first thing here is the package name is always the domain name. For example, if you're working on a Gmail application, it's www.gmail.com, right? The domain name is extension is .com, .org, .in. So based on the extension here, we specify the package name. That I'll tell you when I do packages concept. Okay. So here there is one more question. can we initialize during object creation as well? Absolutely yes, sir. You are creating an object here, sir. Later you are reinitializing, sir. It is time consuming, sir. Can we do it during object creation as well? Absolutely yes. That is the reason we have something called as constructor topic. Okay. Further days. Okay. You'll all understand the process. Okay. Two questions, whatever you ask, I'll be covering it in the future part. Okay, na? Great. Thanks. Okay. What is the value of null? Null is like empty. Okay, null is like empty here. Okay, it's nothing. Null means nothing. Okay, now we'll talk about the actual part when we jump into strings libraries here. Okay, now so I hope we all got the expected data here. Now I have one assignment, guys. Okay, I hope you'll all do it here. What is the assignment, sir? Okay, let me do it over here. Okay, let me just give the assignment over here. Assignment question. I want you all to try this. Okay, this is for your growth here. Okay, I'm not getting benefited by it. You are getting benefited by it. First, you are supposed to create a class called as employee. Okay, now first rule, what are we supposed to do? Create a class called as employee. That is step number one. Correct. Step number two. Okay, create or else declare declare three attributes. Declare three attributes. Attribute means variables. Okay, as ID, name, and salary. Okay, na? So you have to declare three attributes. What are those three attributes? ID, name, and salary. Clear? And you know the respective data types and stuff, right? You can decide your data type and stuff. And the third rule, okay, create another class, okay, another class called as solution. Okay, create another class called as solution. Then fourth part, under main method. Okay, under main method. When I tell parenthesis, we read it as main method. Under main method, create three objects of employee. How many objects? Three objects of employee. Okay, and then reinitialize to their respective values and display the contents. Okay, this is all about it. Got the clarity here? This is the assignment. In simple terms here, you have to create a class called as employee. Okay, rule 1, you have to create a class called as employee and you have to declare how many variables? 3. ID, name, salary. Okay, 3 variables. And then you will create one more class. Okay, you will create another class called as solution. Under solution class, you will have your main method. Okay, you will create how many objects of employee? 3 objects of employee, and you will reinitialize all the 3 employee details like e1.id name salary, e2.id name salary, e3.id name salary. You will reinitialize and you have to display your content here. I have done it for student in the same class for 2 objects. You will do it for employee, 3 objects in 2 different classes. Got it? So if you read out this, you'll be able to do it. See, simple, no? You are supposed to do what? You are supposed to create a class called as employee, declare 3 attributes as ID, name, and salary, and you will create another class called as solution. And under main method, you will create 3 objects of employee, then you will reinitialize to the respective employee values and display their contents here. Okay, this is all about it. Clear? Great. We are done with this entire process here. Okay. Now, your web classes has been started, I believe. Okay, I'm not sure here. Your web classes have been started, I believe. So start attending web classes as well. Okay, so that it will become useful for you going ahead. So as of now, you'll be attending my Java class regularly and you'll be doing your web classes as well. So that you'll be completing multiple courses at the same time. So the duration will decrease. Okay, now this is first thing. And I have a few requirements here, which I'll announce it here. There is a lot of disturbance guys today, so that is the reason I'm trying to wind up my session now. Okay, so let me just read out the requirements for you all. Okay, so what is the requirements here? I'll just read out a couple of companies. Okay, so that it would become useful for you to understand it. Okay, so 2 minutes guys, 2 minutes, 2 minutes, 2 minutes. We had a company by the name called as e-governments foundation. Okay, so that is one company, and Aroha is another company, and Mystery Mind, okay, is another company, and what are the other companies? Quick Ride. Okay, so these were the different companies which had come yesterday. Okay, so if you want, you can register. I mean, it's all for Java completed. You are all kickstarted with Java. Okay, anyway guys, okay, so I'm done with the session for today. Okay, so try to do the assignment and drop a message to me. Okay, so that I could help you out here. Okay, perfect. Okay, so we shall wind up a session for today and catch up on Monday. There's no session tomorrow. Okay, so your next session will be on Monday. Okay, so great guys. Okay, so we shall wind up a session for today and catch up on Monday. Okay, so thank you all, take care, bye bye, have a very good weekend. Okay, bye.